The heavy shotgun has been unvaulted and it is hugely different, so let's compare it to the striker pump, not the auto shotgun because that thing is some cheeks, but let's figure out which shotgun you should use. The heavy shotgun is available in grey to gold rarities and it's on floor loot, in chests, wherever you can find loot, you can find the heavy shotgun. Now it actually only fires a single shot, so it's like a slug gun. It doesn't fire like a traditional shotgun that we've seen in game that has a burst of say 10 pellets like it used to have. Now it just shoots one and it has way better accuracy overall. If you notice, you aim down sight, it's got perfect accuracy actually and has no bloom. So this is almost like a combination between a shotgun and a hunting rifle slash sniper. Now despite this, there is still shotgun delay, so if you switch your weapons you will still get shotgun delay, so you can't run two of these or this and the striker and the auto at the exact same time without getting the shotgun delay. So basically within this crosshair you've got here, the shot will land somewhere relatively close to the center despite where you're going, and when you ADS you're going to have 100% accuracy down the sights. Now this does mean you're going to have to basically sit still in ADS to take shots, which we'll come back to later on how to do this. But if you notice, when you're walking, similarly to every other gun, the crosshair is going to be slightly larger. When you're standing still, it's going to be slightly smaller. When you're crouching, it's going to be even smaller than that. The only difference that there really is with the heavy shotgun to all of these other shotguns is the fact that when you're crouched and ADS'd, the crosshair doesn't change, so you can just fully stand up and ADS and this will always be 100% accurate. Unlike the striker pump, for example, when you're ADS'd and then you crouch, it gets a little bit more accurate. What this also means is that you can use this while sliding because it'll give you that 100% accuracy when you're ADS'd and sliding. So if you want to keep moving and hit people who are relatively far away, slide, hit that ADS and hit those shots. You also must remember at this point, when you're relatively close, however, it doesn't really matter if you ADS or not because the crosshair is still pretty large, and a lot of this will be personal preference, but if you're sliding close to someone, don't always think that you have to ADS to hit your shots. Now that being said, the aim is very interesting because it only shoots a single pellet. You can shoot anywhere and it will always hit the maximum damage. If we take, for an example, a grey heavy shotgun, the body shot damage is 81 when you're one tile away, and you can basically shoot this anywhere. You can shoot in the hand, the foot, whatever that is, outside of the head, of course, and it will always do 81 damage. This actually means it's a little bit easier to use over the striker pump because if you're in a box and you hit a kind of rubbishy shot, you're only going to hit potentially like a 50, maybe a 40, maybe a low 20, 30 kind of damage because not all the pellets are hitting. But because this only shoots one pellet, every time you hit a shot, it's going to do max damage. Now the headshot multiplier is 1.75 in comparison to the striker pump, which has a 1.65 times headshot multiplier. So it actually has more headshot damage with this single shot, and realistically is probably easier to use. At the same time, the fire rate is also faster. The striker pump has a really awkward fire rate of 0.65. If you want to compare this to a normal pump shotgun, that's 0.7. So just so you have a basis, an understanding of what the kind of pump fire rate is, the heavy has a fire rate of 1.3. So it's actually double. It's twice as fast as the striker pump in terms of how quickly it shoots, which means it's incredibly powerful. Now, damage is where we really want to be looking here. So what's actually the damage? Is this a super powerful shotgun? Is this going to hit a ton of damage? Yes. You can see a full chart of the gold heavy in comparison to the striker pump, and the biggest thing you'll first notice is that before 2 tiles there's no damage drop off, and this is the same on the striker pump as well. Both don't really have any damage drop off at this point. Now notice how quickly the striker pump drops off in comparison to the heavy shotgun. However, when you're 5 tiles away with the gold one, you can still do a 120 damage single headshot. 6.5 tiles will do a 102, so you can still do over 100 damage from 6.5 tiles away. And the heavy shotgun goes all the way up till 14 tiles where it will hit 18 damage, which is obviously significantly higher than the striker pump. And remember, this has double the fire rate at the same time, and if you hit any shot, it's going to be a significantly higher damage than the striker pump would be because you can shoot them in the hands, in the feet, so you have a little bit more leeway on your poor aim. On top of that, let's look at the structure damage. They're pretty much the same, to be honest with you. You'll notice that all 3 of them take 3 shots to break a wood wall, but remember, the new heavy shotgun has double the fire rate of the striker pump, meaning it'll shoot way faster and break that wall quicker if you're just trying to wall replace with it. This gun has hugely buffed high ground because when you're up above looking down on players, it's going to be really easy for some of the top pros who have great aim to be able just to hit consistent headshots down to the players down below. Even just a body shot does so much damage from that range that high ground will be. So this is a huge huge buff to the high ground players. And I suspect if you're a low to mid ground player, the way you'll utilize this the most is similar to the way you'd use the charge. You're going to open a wall, sit further back, have that gun ADS'd and ready so that you can hit players that are rotating past. You know, it's a little bit of a weird gun given the ADS does power up so much, but it's similar to the charge in that way where you had to charge that charge shotgun before and sit back into the box and take those shots. Potentially maybe used as more of a defensive weapon when it comes to endgame. Now, which one will you take? It's pretty common sense. Clearly, in every single avenue, the heavy shotgun is better than the striker. It does more damage, it requires a little bit more accuracy to use, but basically anytime you hit a shot, it's going to be that maximum damage. It has a faster fire rate, it does more damage to builds. Realistically, this is the gun you're going to be taking. I do foresee in the future that it's going to be nerfed. I really like the idea of having like a single shot, really powerful, really accurate shotgun like this, but the range is just so far that it kind of reminds me of the original combat shotgun where it just makes every other shotgun in the meta obsolete. Back then when the pump was unvaulted, if you had like a tack or a pump, it was really frustrating to fight someone who had a combat because they could keep their distance to just bat you and it was really easy. Now I foresee this being similar in this meta where if you find a striker pump or if you find an auto shotgun, if you're fighting someone with a heavy shotgun, it could be very frustrating, in particular like in a really important early game fight because they just have like a powerful loadout that you don't have, and it doesn't seem like a very well balanced gun for this particular reason. We will have to wait and see, find out. I'll definitely be giving my proper feedback in a couple of days time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a lot. Peace.